You are all traveling by wagon along the Lost Coast Road, heading more or less westward towards Sandpoint, but ultimately with the goal, at least as you left the encampment not long before, heading for Magnamar by way of Sandpoint. So I'm not entirely sure everybody fully understands that. Some people seem to not be very clear on which direction they're traveling. Looking at this motley crew of people traveling in this mini caravan, we see a lot of unfamiliar faces. It's not until we get sort of towards the back wagon, maybe in between, that we recognize at least two of the people. Natalin and the kobold Lumi. Of course, Lumi's the reason we're in this predicament, having drunkenly run off into the night after misunderstanding some things. And Natalin being sent in search of Lumi, while the others stay behind to deal with things in Sandpoint. Natalin eventually caught up to Lumi in the wee hours of the night, in the as the morning sun was beginning to rise for a new day. They had a few words and then were interrupted by a merry band of travelers who invited them back to their camp. And more conversations were had, ultimately ending in an offer for them to accompany this new group on their way to Magnamar. As the caravan, consisting of two wagons, one covered, one uncovered, the four horses that are pulling the two wagons, two per wagon, and a donkey named Pickles, we caught a glimpse inside the covered wagon where an elven noblewoman and her human male companion were seen bound and gagged. It is later that same day. You are further along the road, but you are still traveling. And it's a decent day. The weather seems to be much cooler in the wake of the previous night's storm. There's not much even in the way of wind. Basically, imagine 65 and sunny, with a few lazy white clouds through the otherwise brilliant blue sky. We're going to go ahead and zoom in on this traveling band of individuals, and I'm going to turn it over to you all. Who's doing what? What's happening? What's going on?
I think Natalin, for the most part, is quiet, just sitting or just traveling, keeping an eye on Lumi, making sure she's okay. But will often, kind of turn around and glance back as if she's like looking for someone, potentially just like keeping an eye out and sighing and then turning back around and watching Lumi again.
And Natalin, you'd see that Lumi, I think probably like up ahead on the other wagon or something, is trying her best to just strike it up with Isgothi, trying to make small talk with the very quiet and a very unspoken, powerful, tall orc woman that she is.
Very powerful. Very
you can see Lumi's tail flicking in, I don't want to say in delight, but like in like curiosity, in intrigue. by the situation. It seems that she's, at least in this moment, kind of left all of her feelings behind, just to live in the moment here. You see up ahead Lumi being her cheerful self again. Very unlike the Lumi that ran off during the storm, leaving Sandpoint behind. You're not sure if this is a facade that Lumi's putting up, or if something's changed, or if your apology hit its mark and made her feel better. But you remember hearing Lumi say that she still wants to go to Magnamar with this group, with this troop of travelers.
I think Isgothi is just driving the wagon, and she's she's not being a dick. She's being polite to Lumi and making conversation, and you find that Iz seems to want to know a lot about you, Lumi, but you notice kind of that the talk always comes back to like your upbringing in Sandpoint, and kind of she seems curious about like how that kind of worked as a kobold living among non-kobolds. And frequently in your conversation you see her kind of like really like look kind of confused by that, and like it would be something she wouldn't expect. And then yeah, you're just making conversation, and she is driving the wagon, and we're on our way to Magnamar.
Well, you see, like I hatched in Sandpoint. I haven't really known any other place to live beyond Sandpoint. I mean, I did stay in Magnamar for a little bit of time, but not enough to call it a permanent residence. You see, but I was hatched and raised in Sandpoint. My father says that my egg was brought in by some adventurer from somewhere else, and lo and behold, little Lumi here hatched out of that egg.
And nobody batted an eye. They just said like, you're one of us now, and that's how it happened.
Well, my father is a pretty well respected
right.
man. Yeah, not many people want to go. Yeah. But so
well, it
I
sounds
mean,
like you got real
every
lucky.
now and then, yeah. No, I'm happy to be a lucky little kobold. And sitting here in this wagon, I still feel pretty lucky.
He is kind of like looks at you and is like, I think like blissfully unaware like that this would even be a possibility, and she's like, yeah, it is a pretty nice day. And she kind of like looks around, like gives the horse another like, and yeah, we're just trotting along, and the squeaking sound of the wheels is almost hypnotic, and
So,
yeah.
do you lift trees or something in the morning? Like, look at you. Look at those. They're each as big as I am. As she leans over and pokes a little finger into your bicep.
I mean, you say you're a lucky little kobold. I guess having orc blood is a different kind of luck. And she flexes a little bit on your side. And she just, and then upon like mention of that, you hear her kind of like clear her throat and like adjust, and then she gets kind of quiet. Among like mention of her heritage, kind of.
Well, I count myself as one of the many lucky people to witness them. That's for sure.
Thanks, Kobold.
The name's Lumi.
Lumi. I'm sorry, Lumi. I didn't forget that time. I was just being an asshole. I'm sorry.
Oh. No. You know what? You can call me Kobold if you want. I just thought that maybe that you didn't remember my name. But if you want to,
when you're like frantically talking, she puts her gigantic fucking hand, one hand on both your shoulders, because you're itty bitty, and she just goes, "I'll call you Lumi from now on."
Okay.
And then she just keeps driving the horse.
Are we there yet?
Yeah, Roji, get out.
So funny. You always live me saying that. Anyways.
And I think Isgothy would kind of like look around. She's not in the lead wagon. We've established, I think, that Crispin and Lala, or Crispin and the other one?
Crispin and Misty.
Misty steps. Oh my fucking god, I forgot about Misty steps. Anyway, fucking Crispin and Misty are up in the other wagon, and we're the second wagon back. And
if
so,
there's only 2 wagons, does that mean that we're just all in the fucking second wagon?
Or on your own horses?
Nobody has their own horses.
Oh, well.
But there is a donkey.
There's a donkey now.
And if you didn't want to ride in the wagon, you could walk alongside the wagon.
We're not going that fast. I think Iz would kind of be looking around trying to gain their bearings and saying, well, it won't be too long, just a couple of days. And we'll be in Magnamar.
Natalin's probably walking by the second wagon on the side of Lumi so that she can keep an eye on Lumi without being too close to, interrupt the conversation, but keeping an eye out while still being able to look back at the road.
And I would kind of lean to Lumi and be like, what's with your friend?
Well, you see, I may have gotten a little bit of, well, I ran away from town, you see, and, well, my friend here came after me to bring me back home, and I'm really not ready to go home right now, or maybe even ever, but we'll see about that. But that's why she's here.
Well, she's looking at me funny. Whether you are or not, this is how Iz is perceiving it, for sure.
Well,
absolutely. I'm probably not looking at you at all because I am looking at Lumi and then behind me and Lumi behind me. But yes.
There's some severe self-consciousness issues here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm staring at you.
Do you have a problem or something?
No, she's a great gal.
Uh-huh. Okay.
She can be a bit forward-minded and well, acting before she thinks too much, but
well, she's in good company. And yeah. I think the kind of the day passes that way. Is this like, I forget when did we kind of set out? Morning. So just sort of more of the same. Is our trip eventful during this day?
Well, here's the thing. You know that it's 3 days to Magnamar.
3.
But you also know that it's less than 1 day to Sandpoint.
Oh, yeah. Lumi, we probably ought to come up with a plan for cutting through your hometown. I mean, if you want to keep a low profile.
I've been trying my best to not think about that, but you're right. I gotta think of something, because, well, they're looking for me, and well, Natalin here. I mean, I don't think she's gonna come with us to Magnamar, and I don't think she's gonna let me leave to Magnamar either. So I don't know. I kind of really didn't think this far ahead.
Well,
Are you talking loud enough that the second wagon can hear you, or no?
They are the
I
second
think-
wagon.
we are the second wagon. I think we would be talking.
Call the
I
Brute
think- I think-
Squad. We are the Brute Squad.
Upon that, I would say, like, everybody, we have to hold on. Crispin, hold up. And I would call up to the first wagon and kind of convene a brief meeting. Like, we need to come up with a plan.
Rogie would jump off and
I-
run up to Crispin and go, Crispin!
Crispin,
Actually,
as the wagon's being pulled up in the road, and Crispin does pull it off to the side of the road a little bit. There hasn't been much in the way of other traffic, but the Lost Coast Road is a primary road. As you come running up to him, Rogie, he just kind of looks at you with those shaded spectacles. And he just kind of looks at you expectantly. What do you want?
We gotta talk. We're figuring out a plan because Izzy wanted to talk. So yep.
I come up at that moment. I'd be like, I wanted to talk. And if you ever call me Izzy again, I'm going to break your neck. Listen, we have to decide what to do with with Lumi on the way through town. If we just stroll through, I mean, who knows? If her dad sees her, he's going to probably keep her in a fucking tower like a princess or something.
I can probably help with that.
How?
It turns out that when I look at my list of assets and skills that I have,
Let me search my brain.
it's only temporary, mind you.
There's a
but
sheet here that defines my character.
It's only temporary, mind you, and will only last. No, kitty, don't go. Will only last for an hour. But I lost my kitty.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm terribly sorry to hear that.
It will only last for an hour, but I can cast an illusory disguise upon your visage. It will change your appearance and your voice.
Oh. You hear that, Lumi? You can be anybody you want to be.
Well, I kind of like being me, but for the sake of disguises, this is certainly an idea. I really haven't practiced being someone that I'm not yet. But I could try
And
my
this is-
best.
This is more of a question for Jay, I guess, because I don't know how. Like, I know that Pathfinder spells roll different, but would I be able to cast it on two people? Like in D&D, no.
Only if it's
because-
heightened. So it's like a fourth level, like a third level heightens. If it's heightened to third level, you could cast up to 10 people for an illusionary disguise. It depends on the spell, but it'd have to be heightened up to a different higher level. Generally at the same level, it's just one person. One
Okay.
target creature.
You could just cast 2 instances of it as well if you want 2 people, right?
That too.
Okay, well.
What is the spell? What is the spell? Sorry, sorry to interrupt, Game Master here.
Illusory disguise.
Illusory disguise, bud.
Illusory disguise.
Okay.
But Barty's gonna throw out. But that only solves the issue for one of the two of them. They're both from Sandpoint.
As Rogi's
Yes.
just kind of standing there. Sorry. You always say, sit up, talk, and project. Yeah. There is a south route that we could avoid Sandpoint that brings us by the farms and the sanatorium, which, we kind of need to go to. The harbor sanatorium, and then get back on the road there. So if you want to avoid Sandpoint and anyone, you don't actually have to go there.
How much longer would that take?
I think it would take maybe an extra 2 or 3 hours.
Really? Well,
Maybe.
Lumi, I guess it's up to you. I mean, this whole scheme is... because you're with us, not to play the blame game, but What do you want to do?
Question: is Natalin around to listen to this?
It feels to me
We're
like
all right
everybody.
there.
It
I think
feels
we're
to
all
me.
huddled up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It feels to me like everybody gathered around the front wagon.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys left Lumi on the wagon, Natalin would be with Lumi, and neither of us would be hearing this conversation.
No,
If you took
Lumi is
with
in.
you, then Natalin would have followed. for
Lumi
sure.
is
Okay.
trotting along in the shadow of Izzy.
Crispin speaks up and
Bye.
says, I reluctantly agree with Roji. Traveling
That's the second time you've done that.
traveling through Sandpoint is not the most optimal of routes, and he just kind of raises his eyebrows. You just see them raise up above his spectacles a little bit as he looks at you.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I think don't look at me like that. Yeah, I agree with him too. I think the best route is an around route.
That's the third time you've agreed with me. Thank you.
Did someone say something about the sanatorium?
Oh God! Oh my God!
You never even heard her approach. She's just suddenly there in your midst. La la with her big eyes.
Lala, Lala, Lala. Shh, we're not supposed to talk about that.
Oh,
You
I know
mentioned it first.
about keeping secrets.
We don't want to scare them.
But you, Roji, you mentioned it first. You said we needed to go there.
Well, it's not. Well, it's you don't need to know, but it's all okay.
I think at this point, Natalin tries to get Lumi's attention, like tries to make eye contact with Lumi.
If
Lumi like looks up at you.
And she kind of just makes it like a
it-
emotion come
And then-
to me.
Lumi will like tug on the hem of like your, I want to say like tunic, is gothy. Just like I'll be back 1 second, and she goes to stride off with.
I kind of put my hands on my hips and watch her, and I go, "Don't worry, I'll wait." And I like look over at Crispin and kind of shrug.
And Lumi will go off to on the whisper with you, Natalin. And she already kind of begins speaking as you find a place just a little bit out of your shot. So I think this is where we part ways, I think.
Lumi,
Well, you can go back to Sandpoint. You can take care of Velynia. It's fine. I'm gonna keep with these people.
Lumi, I don't understand. I thought you can't forgive me. Like you're gonna give up everything because
There's nothing here to
Because of
forgive.
me?
You just
I
no,
should
it's
leave.
it's no, that would be so unfair. No. Like I get it. Like, you know, she's tall, she's sweet, she's
what?
charming. It doesn't
What?
It's fine. That's fine.
Who?
That's fine.
Lumi, what are you talking about?
And she looks at you confused. You and Velynia.
What about me and Velynia? I don't understand. She had nothing to do with me deciding to just kill all the ghouls. That was my choice. She had nothing to do with it. I mean, it was all my fault.
I'm not talking about the ghouls. No, I let my guard down, and they tricked me, and they tricked us. I'm over the ghouls. I'm over them.
Then why are you so mad at me?
I'm not mad at you. She says as she's like kind of like she's like her balls are in fists. Her fists are in balls.
Whoa, entirely different scene. Yellow
My
yellow
God.
light.
Her fists are in balls as she's like holding back emotion. Like, I'm not mad at you, she says in kind of a not frustrated, but like definitely emotional tone.
Angry, balled up fist mode.
Yeah.
You look pretty angry right now, Lumi.
No, I'm not upset about the ghouls. I'm just
Then what have I done? Let me fix this.
there's no reason to, okay?
I can't.
I just need to go. I need to be somewhere where
Where I'm not?
I can just not like that. No.
Then what is it?
Not forever.
So it is me. That's why you're leaving, because of me.
And Lumi looks down at the ground.
Ooh.
She's trying to find a way to navigate through this. It's complicated, but it's what I need. Just so I can get some time and some space and get over all my stupid feelings.
The feelings about me and how I've treated you?
No, it's not about.
I don't understand, Lumi. What is this? You've always
And then she
been like
looks
a
around.
sister to me.
She looks around. She paces for a bit. She like breathes in. She takes a deep breath in. And she says in one long string of words, with no breath in between, I can't stand seeing you and Velynia together.
There is such a confusion on Natalin's face. You don't like that we're friends? you
She gives you like a come on now kind of look.
you would rather should I not be in the group with you? Is that what you're saying?
I've eavesdropped by accident on the two of you. I saw the two of you 2 nights ago. You don't have to pretend like I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know? No, you and Velynia.
Lumi, I am so
Stealing
confused.
moments away with each other.
I was
You were-
apologizing to Velynia for my rash actions in the undead
Those
hole.
dumb smiles you were giving each other 2 nights ago.
She
Flesh in the
forgave me. I was happy. What? Two nights ago, we were drinking. Is that what you're talking? I don't understand, Lumi.
And for a moment, the puzzle pieces all click into place. And she starts chuckling. She starts laughing. She collapses to the ground, just like on her knees, laughing. Oh my god. She says, as she's like half crying, half
Real
laughing, half not understanding. Go ahead.
There's a very quick flash to the rest of the group and be like, I wonder what they're talking about.
My God, the little one's gone hysterical.
I'm sorry, that's all I needed to interject. Please continue.
I think Natalin is kind of at a loss for what's happening, but she will get, like, you've collapsed on the ground. She will kind of kneel down beside you. and awkwardly like kind of give you a hug because she doesn't know what she's supposed to be doing right now. Like she's so confused. So she just kind of gives you a little like a comfort pat, like
there.
yeah. Like,
I thought you and Velynia were together. Okay. I saw you sneak off at the tavern. I saw you schmoozing behind the courtyard of the cathedral. I thought you two were kissing or doing other things, or I don't know. And it just
and oh my
it
gosh,
hurt. It hurt
like
so bad, and it would when I breathe in, it just the air is ripped out of me, and there's no more room, and I feel like I'm choking and I can't breathe, and
the awkward hug turns into a big hug after a moment, because if you weren't looking at her face, you may not have seen it, but the others would have seen like the instant like shock of what you've just said. There's like a coloring, like a oh, like what is this? Oh no! And then you keep going on, and then she just hugs. She's like, "Oh, Lumi, you have it all wrong. You have it all wrong. This has all been just such big misunderstanding, I think."
yeah, that's
Velynia and I
humor
are
of it,
nothing
I
more
think.
than friends.
She looks a little defeated. She looks ashamed. I'm so stupid.
Oh,
Lumi, you are far from it. And I think at this point, Natalin actually pulls out the crumpled piece of paper. She hasn't read it, just the note she picked up that was addressed to Velynia, right? It had Velynia's name on it. And she just hands it back to you.
This was from the butter I was going to give her. She unfolds the note.
And you like it hasn't been read. Like it's still, well, I mean, it's all crumpled, but
And she holds it in her hand. She looks over the words. She sees that it's been smeared from the mud and the rain, and the ink is all splotchy and ran through, but there's like some semblance of words. And if you really, really squint and try your best, you could probably decipher what it was written on this note. I'm so stupid, she says again.
no, Lumi, we're not stupid. You're just passionate, I think. You're so full of life.
Just was such filled with such feelings, and I mean, I still have all these bad, stupid feelings. And I thought I was over them. I really did. And then I saw you and her at the tavern, and I just broke.
Natalin gives you an even bigger hug at this point.
do you
Just
remember
a
how we
bum.
said it would take an extra 3 hours? Well, we're working on 4 now.
You should
As
tell her.
And Lumi looks at you, Isgothi, and you can see that she has been recently crying. The way that her like cheeks are puffy and her eyes are teary.
Let's go home, Lumi.
As you two are parting from your hug, and as you say that, Natalin, both of you make me a real quick perception check.
Fuck.
Dirty 20.
What a lovely time for a 3 on the die, for a total of 12.
Well, you both failed, but it's not bad. Well, I'll let you determine whether it's good or bad. As you're pulling apart from this hug, you both feel a hand in the small of your back, and in the midst of your hug, looking at you with her big eyes from under her
Fucking
hat, Lala says, It's such a sweet moment between friends. I couldn't help but overhear. May I ask a question? Looking at you, Lumi.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
What did the note say?
Oh, I'm a little bit embarrassed about what's on here. I mean, you can, sure, you can read it if you want. And she hands Lala the note and looks away, red in the face.
As you hand her the note, one, you see that she has, kind of with all of her other stuff around her, one of the things that she has is a small basket, and there's some morel mushrooms in it. And I didn't want to interrupt, but I imagine during that interaction between the two of you, Lala was sitting in the grass nearby, just munching on morels.
She's like Ali Sheedy's character.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Breakfast Club.
She really is.
That is exactly the same vibe.
And she, as you hand her the note, she takes it from you, but she doesn't look away. And she says, I don't know you very well. I don't know you at all, really. But I don't think you're stupid. And if you feel like you have too many feelings and too many confusing thoughts, if we're going by the sanatorium, there's a procedure they can do. A long spike and a single tap from a hammer and no more worries.
No more feelings.
Lumbotomy, yeah.
Yeah, lumbotomy.
Lumbotomy. And
I think then, like, as Lumi's holding the note to Lala, I don't think that Lumi actually lets go of it with these ominous words.
Lala won't fight you for the note. She just cryptically says, perhaps on a future episode. And she turns and munches on a morel mushroom.
As Lala looks directly into the camera.
And she breaks the fourth wall. Perhaps next week.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
On episode 24, perhaps.
Eternal
Or
sunshine
31.
of the kobold mind.
She skips forward. She literally skips forward to the front wagon and up to where the rest of you are. And she goes, they've made up. They're friends again.
Great. Are they still coming?
I don't know.
Did you get what you needed, Lala?
I don't need anything. It was entertaining.
Well, were you entertained?
It was a bit of a cliffhanger.
Oh.
Barty, could you go get those two girls moving, please? We gotta hit the road.
Okay.
Barty, not you,
Barty's-
Roji. You're just gonna creep them out.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Roji. Anyways, la 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 la.
So was there any hugging that happened?
Lots of hugging.
Was there hugging? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Barty's going to come up and offer you both a sip from his open bottle of wine. A drink for either of you.
No, thank you.
Lumi snatches it from your hand and goes, glug, 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 glug.
Nothing
The
wrong with
offer.
a little day drinking when you're traveling, says I.
As Lumi upends it, a little bit dribbles off of her chin, and she takes a breath. Oh, I think I'm gonna need that today. And she hands it back to you.
Oh, liquid courage.
Right.
So, Are we ready to hit the road again, my lovely ladies?
About that.
Lumi, as you are preparing to answer this question, and as you are answering it, you hear a voice in your head. It is a woman's voice, and it is familiar to you. Lumi, do not trust these people. Their smiles and friendship are lies. Brannick and I are trapped in the wagon. Be cautious. Odrani. She has sent you a message in your head.
Lumi was looking down at the letter, the little note in her hand that was addressed to Velynia, as she was about to say about that. She was pondering her path from here. And she hears this, and she gives you a look, Natalin, and I think that the look that you do not return to her implies that you did not receive this message in your brain, this arcane spell. Let's stick with them for a bit. Lumi says to you, Natalin. Yes, let's... Sorry for the delay.
Very good, very good. I'll tell them that we're going to get moving again. Forthrightly. And he's whistling a little tune to himself as he goes up to the front wagon and basically says we're ready to go.
Lumi also approaches the group of travelers here. Okay. I can respond to the message. Perfect. Yeah, so how do I, to respond to the message, is it a telepathic thought or is it like verbalized?
It doesn't really specify, at least not in what I'm looking at in the Nexus. But given that it's a mental spell, I'm choosing to interpret it that, since this is the first time we're using sending in this campaign.
It says you mouth words quietly, so it's not
auditory.
telepathic.
It is auditory but subtle, or it's two traits. So
yeah, so
you whisper words that no
I
one
would
can
say
hear.
it's basically, at most, Aldrani by sending this message to you has opened a two-way channel, and your message will come through. You're basically doing the equivalent of moving your lips while reading.
Yeah, so I think that she pauses, and she's like striding, and she's beginning to stride over to the rest of the group. She would whisper back to respond to this message. Oh, sludge buckets.
You've already used 3 of your words.
How many words do I get?
25 or fewer.
Oh.
There is.
So she says, "Oh, sludge buckets. Oh, I'll see what I can do." Yours truly, Lumi. And heart emoji.
Heart emoji counts as 5 words.
And then her tail stooped low, and she's focused. She returns to the group of travelers. And she says, I don't know about you, but I think it'd be much quicker to get to Magnamar if we just go through Sandpoint, and we can do that illusion disguise idea that you had, Mr. Barty.
No, I'm okay with that if you're okay with that. My only concern is we won't be able to disguise your friend, who is also quite conspicuous. Will she be departing ways with us in Sandpoint then?
And Lumi looks at you, Natalin, and she hopes to God that you pick up on this. Yeah, she'll be staying in Sandpoint.
Yeah, Natalin's kind of has been confused this entire time because all of a sudden, like you started doing really weird things after the whole Lala conversation. So she's been kind of like watching you a little bit, and then you say this, and so then when you say like yes, like we're going to Sandpoint now, which is like okay, got that message. But now you're saying, you know, but I'll be staying behind. And so I think she's just going to go along with whatever you're saying. So she just kind of nods to Barty because Lumi's just said it. So she's gonna, yeah, that's correct.
Iz gives an uncomfortable look over at Lala and Roji after all their talk of the sanitarium and the stuff and the possible lumotomy. Like, well, I don't care either way as long as we get on the road.
I would remind you all that I did emphasize that it would be perhaps in our best interest if we avoided Sandpoint. Crispin says a little more firmly, looking right at you, is making a very subtle motion towards the wagon, which he never got off of. He's still sitting up in the driver's seat, and he's just kind of going,
Sandpoint is a small town, Crispin, and it's at night. I think it'll be a real quick trip. A real quick trip.
With Crispin. I like Crispin's idea. If I have a vote, do I have a vote? Izzy, do I get a vote?
The thing is,
No.
I don't want to part ways with my friend here. And she's headed back to Sandpoint, and I'm going to be sticking with you all to Magnamar.
A perfect idea. We just go around Sandpoint, and we're going to be on the other side, and it's a quick drop. We could drop her off on the other side of Sandpoint as we get onto the road. It works out, everyone.
if we're talking about votes, I think the more dramatic way would be to go through Sandpoint. It sounds challenging.
Is this Misty Steps?
No, it's Lala.
I couldn't tell.
Misty Steps hasn't said.
I don't think
anything.
Misty Steps has said a
Misty
single
Steps
word this
is a
entire
mute.
time.
And I love it. She's terrifying. Okay.
She just glares at everybody.
Misty Steps is our mime.
Tell you what, Crispin, how about I go up ahead and I don't know, get a drink or something, check out the place, make sure the coast is clear, and then we can go through. If you really don't want to be bothered, he's shy.
So let me get this straight. You want us to split up so you can go drinking and carousing under the pretense of scouting ahead.
Listen, if I was going to do any carousing, it would take a hell of a lot longer than the time we have. I'm just saying.
If you wanted to know all the best places in Sandpoint to drink, I could show you around.
Hell yeah. How about Lumi shows me around? We'll go up
Oh, the
ahead, and then you guys
carousing
can
of
follow
youth.
us. I think it's a plan. Crispin, what do you think? We can make sure no one talks to you. I know how antisocial you are.
It's not about my feelings, and if you all are decided, then very well. But we are making no progress sitting here alongside the road.
No, we're not. And I hop up on the wagon, the second wagon. And I kind of put my hand down for Lumi. And you would notice, Lumi, that, you know, do not trust their smiles is almost going through in your head. And is smiling at you, like a broader smile than you've seen since you've known her.
Marty-
Normally.
Marty's scratching his head. He goes, "My dear Lumi, didn't you say earlier that that you had stolen that donkey? You didn't steal it from Sandpoint, did you?
No, I didn't steal the donkey. I borrowed
You
him.
borrowed the donkey, weren't you listening? It'd be a great chance to give it back, and
Yeah,
then the Lumi has
exactly.
a clear conscience.
Yeah, what she said.
Okay, out of character. I'm real lost now. Is the point of this to... Are we just gonna flit into Sandpoint with fucking Natalin and Lumi in tow and the stolen donkey and think that nobody's gonna say boo to us about it?
So, I think the plan is to disguise Lumi.
What's the point of that when we have a stolen donkey and Natalin?
Well,
Natalin
is
could be the
gonna
one
serve-
returning the donkey. Like, oh, hey, I found your donkey, you know? Ran off in the storm.
I didn't
Also,
find
Iz-
Lumi. Found
Iz
donkey.
just wants to give the double birds to Crispin.
Lumi's trying to get the wagon back on track to Sandpoint. And I imagine poor Natalin's confused about why this
So
changes
in character, I think that if it was agreed that we were going to go through Sandpoint, Barty would just start talking about the particulars out loud just to make sure everything sounds right. Like Natalin, you're on board with this deception then, correct?
I will be taking the donkey and returning it when I stay here. And she's looking at Lumi to make sure that that's what the plan was.
And Lumi's like,
Does Natalin's, what is it? Nope. Never mind. Too metagamey.
Good for you. You're doing God's work.
So
when Gothy leans over to help up Lumi, this would normally be a swoon-tastic moment for Lumi.
Mhm,
This like great tusked, powerful woman leaning over to help her up, like. But the words in her mind of "don't trust their smiles," and she has two brains. She's of two minds right now. You know, the lizard brain that still finds is Gothy quite powerfully, has a lot of power over her, and of course this like, what is going on? They have father's friend kidnapped here in their wagon, and she's gonna try and go along with it, but Gothy could probably tell that Lumi doesn't respond nearly as swoonily to your gestures as before. As she hops up with your help, but you can see that she's like nervously, fidgetedly, kind of playing with this like parchment in her hand, that being the note that Natalin gave her.
Natalin and Isgathi, please both make perception checks.
Perception checks. That's awful. It is a 19.
Okay.
I got a 15.
Yeah. Lumi's mood has shifted a bit, but nothing seems... No red flags. No, nothing to worry about. Nothing alarming about her change in mood.
I think is like really goes ha and like clicks, like makes the horse go up alongside of Crispin's horse as we're standing here, kind of like looking over Sandpoint in the distance. And
Sandpoint's
nods...
quite a long ways away.
Oh, okay. Well, she nods at Crispin and just says, "Don't worry, I won't make a big scene like last time." And then goes, ha! Like loud, and we start going much faster than the other wagon. She's hoping to get across to Crispin that she might make a scene, and that can serve as a distraction for them to get the wagon through town.
Crispin shakes his head, and I guess we should clarify who's on the wagon with the open wagon with Iz and Lumi.
I thought we all were.
Come
very
on.
confusing.
At some
Yeah.
point, people got off the wagon. Everybody
I'm
was
beginning
gathered
to
around the
actually
front.
Did we get
feel
back
like
on? I
Party
thought we got back
Manilow
on.
mentally right now because I'm
I
like,
thought we got back
what the-
on.
I'm very old and confused and not sure what's
Okay.
happening around me.
To recap,
I
I'm
thought we got
walking
to
back
recap,
on.
the caravan stopped alongside the road. Everybody gathered at the front vehicle to have this conversation. Lumi and Natalin went back behind the vehicle and sort of towards the back vehicle again. And then, as the decision was made to go through Sandpoint, Isgothi and Lumi went back to the open wagon and climbed up. Misty and Crispin are still on the lead wagon.
I thought by then we had all kind of made our way back onto a vehicle.
Well, nobody actually said that.
Okay, I know.
Except for
I
you two.
apologize. I assumed.
So I don't want to assume where people are. 'Cause
Nope,
I
that's
don't
fair.
know if somebody's riding the donkey, if somebody's walking, if somebody's jumping on the front wagon.
Rogi's gonna jump when Crispin and
Misty,
Misty's wagon is kind of on the side, being
you'd have to climb into the back of it. There's no on the side. It's not like
okay.
it's a covered wagon. It doesn't have like a sideboard or anything like that. So you'd have to actually jump up at the back of it.
Okay, yeah.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Rogi does that and sticks his head out at one point and goes, "Hey," and then covers up.
Okay.
What is it? If that means that is driving the second wagon, Lumi is sitting up on the bench with her, Natalin is walking alongside, and Barty's in the back. This means that when Iz goes, yeah, and starts taking off, we basically just leave Natalin in the dust with the first wagon.
I guess that's up to Iz. How fast are you driving? Did you move just quick enough to become the lead vehicle, or are you really taking off ahead of the group?
I moved quickly to get up ahead of the vehicle, but I didn't mean to leave anybody.
It's
in the
basically
dust.
the
Whoever wants
equivalent.
to be on my wagon can be on my wagon.
It's the equivalent of you spun your tires in the gravel just to make a
Yeah.
point and then moved
just
out
to
in
be
front.
an asshole
Yeah,
teenager.
okay.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
So I think we got good clarification on where everybody is. And for those of you players referencing the Hinterlands map, you are more or less currently at sort of between where it says Pauper's Graves and Leb's Tors, where those sort of mountainous terrain is. You're having traveled through this pass, and you're heading. You'll next be passing through Shankswood and Tickwood region.
Cool.
So as the vehicles take off and begin rambling, that's the word I wanted. Begin rambling along the road, closing the distance, probably a good couple hours out from Sandpoint proper. You guys have wagons. Lumi had a donkey and was drunk, so it was moving a lot slower. It's maybe doing some quick calculations here. It's about 2, 4, 6. You were maybe 10, 12 miles away from Sandpoint, I would imagine. Off the map, over the Thistle River, but you would get to Sandpoint in the late evening at this rate. So as you are heading off in that direction, we are going to go to break. Seems like a good place to take a break.
The lights of Sandpoint glimmer in the distance.
We will be back in about 10 minutes. Out
Oh my
and
God.
working properly. I need to do a quick where did it go? Why is it? Oh, that's the wrong window. That's why. interact so that I can interact with the.
Oh, dang. Note to self. We have to remind Jake to zoom in next time. I don't think he can now.
Yes, I can. That's what I'm doing.
Well,
That's why I'm talking to myself. Is I am
while Jake's talking
making the
to
adjustment.
himself,
Check us out on teespring.com. At teespring.com, we've got all kinds of great new apparel for your nerdy games, including Pathfinder, D&D, and also Kids on Bikes. You can get our awesome logos on stickers, tank tops, mugs, hoodies, and all kinds of other great stuff. Check us out on teespring.com by clicking the link in the description for this video.
Yes,
Wow, look at that zoom.
the beauty of Owl Bear Rodeo having it as a web source is that I absolutely can. I just have to open another window to do so. But
yay! Look at
Well
Natalin
done.
walking that donkey.
so yeah, you guys
Front of God and
are.
everybody.
I mean, technically, this should be oriented left to right, but given the positioning of the the tokens, it felt very weird having it sideways. But I don't know why. Anyway, here we are, traveling along the road. You have a couple of hours journey to get to Sandpoint. You are traveling between the two forests, as I said. I would like. Well, so now we also have Isgothi and Lumi with Barty and Lala in the lead vehicle now. Natalin and Pickles in the middle. Misty Steps
Natalin's holding the pickle.
Misty Steps and Crispin are driving the covered wagon in the rear. Roji has slipped into the back of the wagon where Audrani and Brannick are seated. And actually, that's where I want to get kind of start with is as Roji, as you climb up in there, and Crispin seems a little distracted as he's getting the wagon rolling to catch up to Isgothi. What are you doing in the back of the wagon with the prisoners?
Rogi's just kind of looking at them, just kind of making small talk with them, just kind of that observing, actually making sure that their bounds, their things are tight still. Their bands and gags and stuff like that.
So you're basically you get in the back and you just kind of smile and chatter idly at them while you're checking their bindings.
Yep, just small, nice, friendly chats. You know, just he's been the entire time that they've been in together, so he's been friendly, just talking like not so long now and all that stuff, and just making sure all is good.
I would like there it is. I would like you to make a perception check.
Is this a sense motive or just a regular?
This is not a sense motive. This is a straight perception check.
That's going to be a 36.
Whoa!
Good Lord.
Whoa!
Let me just see here.
Rogi's perceptive. He sees everything.
So there's this moment where, as you're chattering away to them, and you're rocking back and forth in this wagon, and you move forward, and they're sitting on these crates with their hands sort of bound at the wrists in their lap. Their feet are bound, and they're gagged. and you reach forward and you grab the bindings, and the same way you would check the tightness of anything, like a good Midwestern dad, you would grab hold of them, check them, and go, "Hell, this
That's
not
not
going
going
anywhere."
Yep.
The bindings, when you grab them on Adrani,
Mm-hmm.
you pull on them, and because you're pulling to check their tightness, they just pull away, and you realize her bindings are undone. I need you to make a
Reflex save. You're about to get popped in the nose.
Make a saving throw versus death.
Your brain's about to explode like scanners.
I'm going to need you to do a couple things here. I'm just checking
Okay.
the specifics. Spellcasting is one of my weakest areas in Pathfinder right now.
That's my weakest area in real life.
Okay. So
Okay.
you are one. I'm going to make a roll, and then you're going to make a roll.
Okay. Okay.
That's a 17 on the die for a total of 36
Okay.
to hit.
Oh, to hit. Wow.
As Adrani literally bops you in the nose.
I didn't think it would actually happen. That's delightful.
She bops me in
She
the nose
straight up
14.
punches you in the nose. You are going to take... you will take a total of 10 non-lethal bludgeoning damage. And then I need you to make a... will save.
Oh, really?
Oh, willy.
All
Is that
right.
what you just said? A willy?
No, I said, oh, really?
That would have been
Like-
really funny if you said, "Oh, Willie."
That's what
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
were saying.
Let's just pretend he did.
A will save, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Does a 26.
A 26 is a fail. As
Really?
it is.
Hey.
As she pops
Oh,
you in the
really?
nose, you see that she's muttering something,
Oh.
and not only does she bop you in the nose, she casts sleep,
Oh no!
and you fall unconscious. As soon as you get hit and start to fall over, Brannick, whose bindings are also undone, reaches over and grabs your body and lowers you down. They have to act quickly because you are only unconscious for 1 minute. If nothing disrupts you. I am going to say I'm gonna have both Brannick and Adrani make stealth rolls to see if the two in the front.
So when I got bopped in the when Rogie got bopped in the nose, he would have been like, "Ow!" Is it
If you
nice?
had a chance to, because she cast the spell sleep at the
Oh,
same
right.
time.
Got
So
it. Okay.
this is what I'm rolling for stealth. So Adrani got an 8 on the die.
Which
And
sucks.
to be
So
fair,
loud.
Just hold up a
to be
second.
fair, they're probably used to hearing you talk a lot anyways. So
Oh, very much. So.
I just burned my first DM domain die. Oh my gosh! And rolled a
Take that,
4
Hawkbeard.
instead. Okay, so for Adrani, that's gonna be very not good. Okay, and then for Brannick, oh, they are terrible at this.
Hey,
Um,
redemption,
So loud,
redemption.
So, not stealthy,
So
you're gonna get caught.
I would
Rogie
like.
was a lot heavier than they thought, and he come boom.
Oh, I just wanted
Yep.
to double check that the second roll was lower. That's a shame because you have to use the second roll.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't get to choose which one I'm using. So now I'm just gonna see with those. I mean, it's next to nothing. There it is. Misty Steps gets a 17 on perception, and Crispin gets a.
You gotta stop using those dice, man.
Crispin gets a 21 on perception. This is actually in your favor, Rogi, because as Brannick grabs your body to lower you down, the wagon kind of bounces over a rut in a certain kind of way, and suddenly Brannick trips backwards over the crate and pushes through the canvas and is leaning back, looking at both Crispin and Misty Steps. And at this point, I think Lala in the lead vehicle, just sort of sitting there next to you, Barty, and who else is in there? It's just with Lumi and Isgothi driving. Lala just goes, "Oh, look. I think they're trying to escape."
Barty looks.
And you can see one of the prisoners poking out of the back, and with the window open or the canvas open, you can now see that Odrani is quickly. Basically, we see where you guys are in the back of the wagon as it suddenly goes to Odrani looking very guiltily through the open curtain. And I kind of feel like we should probably roll for initiative here.
Yep. I would say I draw my weapon, unfortunately.
I need to do a thing real quick. Because I'm realizing it didn't do it automatically. Add to initiative. Add to initiative. As you pop up on the side, you can go ahead and add your initiative roll in there. Why did I put so many NPCs in this battle?
So many NPCs.
I'm not on there. The initiative thing.
You're not there yet.
Patient.
I'm adding everybody one at a time because it didn't do it automatically.
Patience.
You should be there now.
Okay, I'm way down there.
Okay, and then I'm going to do something just to make this a little easier. I'm going to roll one die, and that's my NPC's initiative roll.
Mm-hmm.
Well, plus their initiative modifier.
Yes, yes.
But it's going to be a lot easier if I just roll one die.
Mm-hmm.
Better be good.
One.
Shut your mouth, Cari.
Tried to put a hex on it. It almost was correct.
So that's going to be a 5. So that means that Crispin.
These fuckers are getting recaptured.
And let's see, Misty Steps and Brannick. Brannick is a 13, and Odrani is a 'oops. Odrani, and then Lala. Who could forget about Lala?
Literally no one.
somebody roll me a d4, please.
Me, dibs. 2.
Okay. All right. Rogi, you are unconscious, and you are first in the initiative order.
I dream wonderful thoughts about going first.
Doesn't he get a saving throw, a waking up saving throw of some kind?
Unfortunately, no.
Damn it. Dude, I'm sorry. Get a beverage. Enjoy.
But because of the things that transpired, you're only unconscious for this round. You will wake up at the end of this round.
Okay.
Nice.
Which means we move to Natalin. As you see from the front cart, Lala drawing attention to something happening in the back cart, and you see a I guess I'll leave it up to you because I know you're a Sandpoint native and you've been there a while. Audrani's somebody who's been back and forth to Sandpoint, and Brannick is her personal bodyguard / consort.
And Father actually told me to be watching out for this woman too.
So then, yeah, you would recognize Audrani for sure, and Brannick sort of immediately in danger between Misty and Crispin on the back wagon. So what do you want to do?
Oh, good gracious! So they're in. I see them there.
Perhaps now it elucidates why Lumi was acting so weird.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna channel elements and do a blast of we'll make it electricity, I guess. On oh yeah, Brennick's right there. Okay.
Yeah, I figured I better move him so you can see that he's literally in the midst of. How do I turn snapping off?
Why do you want to turn snapping off?
Because it's not letting me position the token exactly where I want it.
You can disable snapping. I'll find it actually, and then tell you.
Anyway, continue, Natalin.
Yeah, I guess sorry, it's been a while. Yeah, so bring up my what did I say? Channel element, not channel elements. Is that what it is called? Yes. Channel element, so my aura comes online and I'm going to send out an attack on, I guess, Crispin.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that first. Oh, that's a 27 to hit.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so that is I don't think I have any bonuses, so it's and I rolled max damage. So 6 points of electricity damage on him. I don't think I get that wasn't a crit, right? The 27 is not a crit, right?
27 is not a crit.
Okay. Yeah, so 6 points. I don't believe I have anything that pumps that up, so it's just that yeah, just that. And then
What was the total damage?
6.
Okay.
It's not a lot. Oh, don't think I want to do that with Brannick right there. He's right beside them, right? Like if I try to, I'm gonna nip him, and I don't know if that's a good idea. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a line, if I can. or whatever. That's not really a very straight line, but that's what I'm trying
That's
to
perfect. It's water.
30 feet. 30 feet. So basically, I would, I guess, clip the horse, clip Crispin, and land in the space behind him. What I'm doing is lightning dash.
Oh,
I basically, Natalin just disappears. For anybody who's watching, she like disappears. There's a moment where all this energy is coalescing around her, and then she let out that blast of electricity, and then she becomes electricity herself. And
Pikachu.
she disappears and is going to basically, this line of electricity goes straight 30 feet, so she's going to end up behind Crispin. Any creature that I move through this line, like I can move through them, doesn't matter. I don't trigger any triggered reactions from this movement, but each creature that I move through will take 2d12 electricity damage, but they get a reflex save against my DC. I will
Crispin about to
then
get crispy. Let's go.
return into my normal form at that final square.
Wow.
So my DC is 20. Well, you could have kept pulling over and that would have been bad.
So that's a 21 reflex save for the horse.
Oh, good. Thank you for the horse.
What's your DC?
A 20.
Okay. But Crispin has a reflex of where? Okay, Crispin gets.
Oh, one. Stop it though. Okay.
Oh, this is a 6. That's an 18 for Crispin on reflex. So Crispin fails.
Oh my god.
So he's going to take another 17 points of electricity damage.
Get him.
Detach.
What a badass. Let's go.
Boom. That is my 3 actions. I can't do no more.
Imagine, if you will, while we're running this scene. I'm trying to. How do you do that? Well, I guess it's not the turn yet. Never mind. All right, so you've basically lightning bolted yourself right through the open flap into the cart right behind Crispin.
Yeah.
Where you now see Audrani, and you see an unconscious Roji laying on the floor. And Audrani is going to, since it's her turn now, Audrani is going to, as you appear, you see the look of concern on her face turns into a sort of crooked Mona Lisa smile. And then she is going to cast I don't know if she's going to cast. All right. Apologies. This is a lot of spells. I think she's going to. Oh, I know what she's going to do. I want to make sure I'm reading this right. He said, make a range spell attack. Yeah, she is going to make a. She leans forward, and you see as she points sort of forward between over Brannick's head and kind of between Crispin and Misty, and holy light divine light lances out from her hand. I will be spending another of my domain. Try to make this better. As I'm going to roll with a physical die here. Interestingly, it's the same color, just made of cheese.
Obviously, yes.
Okay, that's a 19 on the die for a total of 36.
Hey, Jake.
Yes.
Is this spell a auditory or visual effect?
Good question. It is attack, cantrip, concentrate, manipulate, sanctified, and spirit. Those are the tags.
Okay, no visual. I assume visual would be there.
Yeah, it's not like an illusion spell, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
She's literally casting the cantrip Divine Lance, and she's casting it at the bindings on the harness, holding the horses to the wagon. There's a explosion of light, and the bindings on the wagon separate. Basically, at this point, the horses are no longer tethered to the covered wagon, and they are going to split in different directions. This one's not going to run into the water, but the wagon is basically coasting forward for a little bit as Audrani has separated the horses from the wagon. It's quite a loud sound, the splintering of these things. Looking back over your shoulder, you get a good look at this as Gothy. It is. Hold up 1 second before I throw it to you, because I keep forgetting how spells work in this game. Yeah, just for good measure, she is going to... I think she's gonna... No, I think that's good. That's good. Never mind. I want to stick with her character.
Awesome.
So it is you.
Okay. So I think hears this commotion and kind of springs up and like is standing now with like on the seat, looking back as she's like realizing what's happened. She's like, oh shit. And she does like this, like claps her hands and then just like flexes like this as she initiates her secure grapple stance. And then I bolt towards here, and I guess because of my movement being what it is, which is 35, pretty damn fast, but not quite enough to get where I want to get. I would. So you said that they got through the wagon on what we are looking at as the right side, like that's where the flap is up.
You just moved 50 feet.
I know. I have a movement of 35. I'm going to use all my movement to get up there. I just want to be sure that up there.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Yeah.
That is not right.
That's not right at all. Nope. I was just going by squares, like we typically do.
I didn't check the math.
300 feet. Oh my lord!
Damn it!
I didn't even think about it.
Like a super highway in the woods.
I didn't think about it. All I know is when I dropped the map in,
that's why there's 300 foot in the corner.
Yeah, the squares lined up perfectly. So basically, divide by 60.
I know. So, but
I have math teacher divide by 60. Yeah.
I refuse. So this side where I'm standing, is that where the dude like kind of fell out of the tent flap, the flap of the wagon?
No, he's literally, it's on the map. He's out the front, in between Crispin and Misty.
Okay.
Which you could get to because there's no horses in your way anymore. They're detached from the...
I could get to... I still can't get there in one...
So I'm going to say you can because the wagon is still moving towards you.
Oh, fascinating. Well, in that case...
Let's not quibble over 5 feet on a moving wagon.
I couldn't agree more. In that case, I will go ahead and try to... I have an attack called Grappling Limb. And I will try to grapple him. Here I go. That's a 34 to grapple. I assume it's just against his AC.
I don't
Sorry,
remember.
33 to
What's grapple against again, Jay?
This
you remember?
is grappling limb. It's a melee attack.
Okay.
Grappling
It does
limb.
damage.
It's an athletics check. Generally.
So you athletics to avoid it, I assume. It's a 34. I rolled a 34. 33. Shit.
Listen, I don't have any numbers on this guy that's going to beat that. So
Okay.
he's a level 1 bodyguard.
Okay.
So
So I rolled against him. It's a 2d4 plus 8 bludgeoning damage.
okay.
And so that's 4 plus 8, so 12 bludgeoning damage as I like grab him by the arm and kind of like twist it behind his back. And if you're close enough, you can hear some bones crack. Not break, but like he's grappled.
And you get a good look that Audrani is free in the back. Natalin is now in the back with little bits of electrical energy still dissipating. Crispin's looks like he's pretty singed. And Rogi is unconscious on the floor of the wagon, just sort of bouncing along as the wagon's moving that last little bit. So you used your stride and your strike.
Yep. So and it's one action to enter secure grapple stance. So I'm done.
Misty Steps is up next. And she is going to... Let's see, she got 30 feet of movement. Misty Steps looks at you, Isgothi, as you've just strong-armed this bodyguard. Look, she glances at Crispin, looks back at the elf and Natalin, just assessing the whole situation. And with the last bit of movement, as you're passing by this tree, Misty Steps is going to... Let's just see how well she does this. With a 19 acrobatics, she leaps off of her seat, grabs hold of a limb on the tree, and swings forward, jumping onto the back of this horse.
Oh my god. What a badass.
And she is going to... what is it called? What's the animal handling check in here called again? I can't remember.
Not animal handling?
It's not animal handling.
Nature?
Nature?
It is, that's right. It's nature, but it's called something, control animals or something like that.
No.
Command an animal.
Command animal, yeah.
Mm.
Misty Steps is going to take this animal, which has a speed of 40 feet. And she is going to... Okay, she's already attached. Oh. No. Oh, she's still attached to the wagon. That's what's going on.
Ha!
She is going to... She veers off and around and heads up, I believe by our movement, about 3 kilometers away. But she's up on the high road here. She's kicking heels into the side of this horse. Misty Steps is Misty stepping away. Basically.
She's abandoning us?
Misty
Her
Steps
namesake.
is riding
Yeah.
off, attempting to make a getaway. It is Crispin's turn. Crispin is going to... Yeah, I think he's going to do this. Crispin is going to look at this whole situation and look back through the... kind of pulls back the curtain, looking back at Natalin and Audrani and everything happening, and it's kind of... he's still kind of shaking off where the... he's just, got these lines of where the lightning, the electricity burned him, and you just see him make a move, and you see a flash of silver as he pulls out a razor blade, and while still holding the curtain, and he's got the razor blade in his left hand, and he looks at where you're holding Brannick. He looks right at Natalin, reaches over, and I'll make the strike just to make sure, with the final movement of the wagon, nothing bad happens on his attack, like a 1.
Whoa.
Brannick's -2 is AC. Oh yeah. So Crispin gets a dirty 20 on his attack versus a 16 AC, but he's also off guard and grappled and all that good stuff. So he definitely hits, and he is going to do 4 plus let's see, that was a 7 to 21. That's not a crit. Okay, sorry, math. He does 14 points of slashing, which is enough to kill Brannick as he slashes his throat.
Can I do as a free action? I'm like right there, right?
Yeah, you're literally holding him. You're getting sprayed with blood.
Gothy lets go and kind of like looks in horror and just like looks at Crispin and goes, "You said no one was supposed to get hurt." And that's it.
Crispin, as he flicks the blood off of the razor, just out of the side of his mouth says, "They changed the rules," and he's gonna make a second attack at Natalin. That's gonna be a 31 to hit Natalin.
I wanted the other roll. I thought you were keeping
Yeah.
first.
It was bouncing all over the place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you -5 on your second attack?
No, it's actually -4.
Okay.
So it's a 27
That's
to
fair,
hit.
that's me.
I'm assuming that's not a critical.
No, no.
So you're going to take another... That's going to be 14 points of slashing to you. Unfortunately...
I have a thing. I don't
Okay.
remember this. I have a deflecting wave that comes up. Is he doing
You're
what,
such a
slashing
fucking
damage?
waterbender, dude.
Yes.
How metal.
Yeah, it was 14 slashing.
So a cascade of water is going to blunt that incoming attack. I will gain resistance to slashing equal to my level. So 4. So I have a resistance slashing of 4.
So you'll take 10 slashing
I'll take
damage
10.
instead.
Yeah.
And he is going to attempt another slash. That'll be at -8.
What a bitch. Ah, what a fucking bitch.
That's a total
Skinny
of
bastard.
19. That's 11 to hit. So I think as you deflect with this water, it's just the last thing he was expecting, and there's a blind slash, and we just see the side of the wagon as this razor just cuts open a slash in the side, the right side of the wagon there, or the right side as we're looking at it, stage right.
And that fucker is sharp.
Barty, it is your turn.
So I'm looking at this stat block for the Troubadour from the NPC core book. The
Hell
new
yeah.
NPC core book.
Bear,
And,
bear, bear, bear.
it's becoming glaringly apparent to me that this is not in any way an offensive or martial character. So, this is going to be very interesting, friends. The first thing that Barty is going to do is he is going to cast a cantrip, one action, Courageous Anthem. So what he will be doing is he will be singing words of encouragement for myself and my allies, and they will gain a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, damage rolls, and save against fear effects. But wait, there's more. He is also going to attempt a performance check for a free action. It's not really a free action. It is a free action, but it's what are those things called?
Bonus actions?
Focus.
Oh, reaction? Oh.
It's
sorry.
a free action focus ability called Lingering Composition. So I will add a flourish to what I'm doing to extend the duration beyond 1 round. So I need to make a performance check. Jake, if you want to look this up, it's called Lingering Composition. While I make this roll for my performance check.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck
All
yeah,
right.
dude. Let's
So
go.
the performance check is going to be a 23 because I'm not playing my loot right now.
What is that?
Acapella.
What is that performance check versus?
It is. Oh, I thought you were looking up the thing.
I'm looking at.
basically,
Okay, it says
the DC
C
is
is
usually
usually
a
a standard.
standard difficulty DC of a level equal to the highest level target of your composition.
So what did
but
you
there's
get?
not a target. It's my allies.
What did you get?
What did I roll? A 10. So that's 23.
Yeah, I think the highest level person here is a 7.
I think it's a success, but not a critical success.
It was a 24.
No, it's a 23.
Okay, yeah, not a crit, but it is
Not a
a
crit.
success.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my Courageous Anthem lasts 3 rounds. Make note of it, y'all.
Yep.
Okay. And that was my first action.
So you are now the Mad Max
Yes.
Fury Road
Guitar guy.
guitar guy.
Guitar guy without a guitar. The reason I'm not holding my loot, y'all, is because I'm probably going to regret this decision with every fiber of my being. But I'm thinking, based on where I'm positioned and everything that's happening, Barty's next move is going to be to grab and grapple Lumi and hold a dagger to her throat
Oh.
and yell to Natalin to stop.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
Oh my god. I didn't think Barty had it in him.
I didn't think. Well, Barty probably does. Tamiko has it in her. It's the only
Can
thing
you-
There
I
are
can think
debts
to
to
do.
pay.
Can you get to Lumi to do this?
I'm literally
right
sitting
there.
right next to her. Like, if you look at the thing, she.
Oh,
is
I'm looking at the wrong
right
wagon.
next
That's
to me.
right.
No, we're on the front wagon.
Yeah, I keep getting mixed up here. It threw me off because his Gothi's on the back wagon now, which sounds like some kind of euphemism for
He's
something.
on the back wagon now. Yeah. Hey,
Damn right she is.
how is Gothy doing? It's like,
Oh,
well,
she's
I
on
heard
the-
she's on
she's
the
on the-
back wagon.
She's on the
now.
back wagon now. Lumi's alone on the boards with a dagger to her throat.
Everything's
So,
Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go.
are you just like arm around and dagger to the throat, or are you trying to
Yep.
grapple?
Yep, nope. Arm around, dagger
Okay.
to the throat. Like, I'm trying to subdue Lumi while also getting Natalin's attention.
Oh my
So, Brannick is dead,
Jesus Christ.
which means it's Lumi's turn. Which also means
Fucking
Lala's on deck.
Lala's on deck.
Lumi is she was like, I think the reason why Barty's able to get a jump on her, Lumi's like, what's going on? Like looking behind and seeing it going on, and she's like so frazzled by what's happened so far. All of a sudden, she goes to like get a hop off of the wagon to join Natalin up there, and all of a sudden she just feels the steel at her throat of Barty's knife, and she pauses. Please don't,
so sorry,
please don't do this.
I am so sorry. We have no choice.
And then I would like to use an action then to escape your grapple.
Oh God.
So it's not a grapple.
God.
Noodle arm versus noodle arm. Are we ready for this?
So this ought to be interesting.
The most
So-
pathetic arm wrestle you've ever seen in your life.
This is
Escape.
like a slap fight. Like
So I get to make a check using my unarmed attack modifier against their DC. It's an athletics DC.
I don't know what to do here, Jake, because
No,
I don't
yeah,
have
so
a
you-
DC on anything.
So it's sorry.
So-
It's versus.
Okay, so I'm rolling acrobatics versus Barty's athletics DC. Which, if there is no athletics proficiency, it'll just be your strength modifier plus 10.
But
Yeah.
it's not actually a full grapple either, right? Because that's what Barty said.
Oh, you weren't even grappling?
Yeah,
It's like
so I need Jake to tell us what he wants.
Oh, sorry.
'Cause I don't know how. This
I
is-
want
this is
Lumi
working.
to make a.
Like she wants to just like
Just do like you would do to normally
Slip out.
roll your athletics check to escape,
acrobatics.
or acrobatic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She would try to like slip out from under this.
Yeah.
17.
I don't have it in front of me, but what's Barty's strength score? Strength modifier.
I don't suppose that this could be an athletics or acrobatic situation too.
Athletics seems appropriate.
It's athletic.
Athletics is my strength is 0.
What's your acrobatics? Just out of curiosity.
Acrobatics is +8.
So, because it's not, you're the one that's technically you're not, but holding the grapple, it is athletics because you're not acrobatically holding them. It's your strength that they're trying to break free of. Which means the DC was a simple 10 if you were grappling them, which you weren't. So I was just considering it as off guard. So Lumi is going to be able to escape from you without any issue.
I rolled a 16, and that's what it would just be, a flat 16. So.
Right, but you wouldn't roll anyway because
Oh.
when you're escaping a grapple, it's not like D&D where it's versus. It's
right.
versus the DC of your athletics. So Lumi, you're able to twist out of this noodle arm bard who's singing in your ear while also
That's terrifying.
it's like we have no choice. Da 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 da.
I have no choice. I'm sorry, little one.
I
like
burned
a
through all
show
my
tune.
royalty.
You escaped right when Barty was doing a jazz hand.
Yeah,
Like,
just give you
that's
the
when he slipped away.
Yes.
Cat-
Oh shit.
Shit! I love
And then,
it. That's awesome.
having slipped out from underneath of the dagger point, Lumi is going to cast a spell. It is a mere cantrip, the one with somatic and verbal components, as her scales light up and shimmer in their pearlescent glow. This is one of her innate arcane spells that she has as a spellhorn kobold. As her feet begin to warble and warp as if they are in the ground beneath her as well, as if she is able to distort the ground beneath her as she casts a warp step with her 2 remaining actions. When I walk using warp step, my steps extend, distance contract, I'm like warping space and time. Everything's just a little bit closer. I get +5 bonus to my speed until the end of my turn, and then I stride twice, which lets me move 60 feet, which is 12 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And at the end of my movement, after the end of this warp step, I'll call out to the hole in the canvas that's on this side of the cart. Adrani, come on, we have to go. Come with me. She yells into the wagon.
come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live.
No, she doesn't have that level of charisma with a woman like Adrani.
she just sticks her head in the canvas, and be like, "Hurry up! It's time." That's awesome.
All right, so that's your turn.
Yep, that was all 3 of my actions. The escape and then the warp step was my last 2.
Lala is going to carefully, as everything's happening, Lala is just sort of moving in slow motion, almost, it seems, as she steps off the back of the wagon and she walks past Pickles, just lightly trailing her hand along his hide and giving him a little bit of a pat. As she's got eyes on the back wagon, she continues moving toward the wagon. And
She frightens me.
Christ, she's terrifying. She
reaches.
right now.
Yep. And she reaches into her satchel. And she, over her shoulder, she goes, "Watch this, Pickles." And she takes 2 alchemical jars, these flasks. She pops the cork on one and goes, and she's going to throw it.
Oh. You throw like a girl.
The attack with this succeeds or crit. Okay, so the first jar is going to land short. However, as it hits here, Crispin and Isgothi, you each take 1 acid splash damage.
Friendly fire.
It's splash damage from the embalming flask. And she kind of clucks her tongue as she takes a second jar and throws this one. Well, let's try that again. There we go. Oh my word!
Yes.
It's her.
Watch
it's her
this,
eyes.
Pickles.
It's her eyes.
So I think what happens is she goes she goes to throw this one, and
Pickles kicks her.
I don't know.
Oh.
As she goes to throw this jar, you hear the hee-haw sound, and Pickles just quick kicks, literally donkey kicks her,
Oh
and
my
she
God.
goes stumbling. She's gonna take
Ooh.
she's gonna take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Dead.
Betrayal.
Good job, Pickles.
But she's also going to drop the alchemical flask on herself. So she's going to take...
The other donkeys in the stable are never going to believe this.
She takes a total of 7 damage, including the acid damage plus splash damage, plus the bludgeoning damage, and she's now prone. And that is going to use up all of her go. Which means very confused, no longer moving. Rogi, you wake up laying down in the back of this wagon.
There he is.
Rogi would like to pretend to be asleep as his first action. I don't know if you wanted to be a lie or deception, but he's pretending to be like, he's making sure everyone, like, assessing the air, but he's pretending he's still asleep.
I'm just going to allow it because everybody's attention is elsewhere. You're in the back of the wagon. You were already unconscious. You just peek an eye open.
I do use my second action to interact, and I take something out of my pocket, and I keep it in my hand. And then more or less, I'm kind of wanting to hide. I don't know if you can't hide in a movement, can you?
I think you can hide and pretend to be asleep at the same time.
I mean,
Pearl.
I think so.
It's an action to hide, but is it? Actually, I'm going to use my third action as a reactionary, so that if somebody comes towards me, or comes to attack me, or if there's something damaging, I can roll out the back of the cart.
Okay, so you're holding that action.
Holding. So if something bad happens, I can roll out the back of the cart.
There you go.
So
Okay.
those are my 3 actions. Pretending to be asleep.
Natalin, Lumi's outside the flap that's been cut with the razor blade next to you, and is calling for Odrani. What do you want to do, Natalin?
I would kind of look at her and I'd yell, "Go! Cover your exit." And I'm going to turn to Crispin, who's right there in front of me, and I kind of hold out my hand as I'm striking, and immediately, like, this katana made of water is in my hand, and I'm going to try to use a 2-action elemental blast on this. I will also put, I believe it's agile on it, which is going to give me, if I get a second attack, I will have the lower minus, I guess, on it.
Yeah.
We'll do the
-4
first one.
instead of -5.
Yeah. Okay, so first one, let's please hit. Okay, not terrible. That's 25.
It's a hit.
Sweet. So it's going to be D8 plus strength plus con. Oh, it's only a 1 on the dice. So that is 1 + 1 + 4. 6 points of bludgeoning damage. No, let's make it cold damage.
Okay.
6 points of cold damage. And then I guess I'll do the second. So for my third action, I'll do that other attack, but it's with the -4. That's a 16 minus 4 is 12.
Yeah, the second one will miss.
That is my 3 actions.
Odrani is going to put her hand on your shoulder, and you see her looking at the now limp, bleeding out form of Brannick in Isgothi's arms on the front of this wagon, and you hear her sort of voice catch for a moment, and through tears she says, "Natalin, we must go." She is going to she is going to, I just gotta check the range on this. Okay. She is going to look out past you, and you feel her hand leave your shoulder as she is no longer standing there. And Odrani suddenly appears on the back of the other horse, using the translocate spell to teleport herself out of the wagon onto the horse.
Yeah.
She is then going to reel the horse around Oh, she's upside down now, too.
It's actually doing it. I love Owlbear Rodeo so much. I'm delighted by this.
She reels the horse around, but not herself. Would be weird.
She's just backwards, like,
yeah.
fuck, I did something wrong.
And she comes screeching up next to Lumi. So that's going to be the 2 actions that she has, which is then going to bring us to Iskathi.
Oh.
Time to show your colors.
Shut up. Shut up. Don't force me into this decision. Yeah. I think Iz kind of looks down at this bloody body of Brannick. And then kind of like looks once more at Crispin. And then sees Natalin like right there. Sees Lumi over there. So they're both, I'm sure, horror-stricken and frazzled by this situation. And Iz looks over at Crispin and just says, no one was supposed to get hurt. And she changes her stance. And where this last one was very much like non-lethal, you got a sense that it was very like, this is to catch somebody, not to hurt them. She changes to thrashing barrage stance, which is very much the opposite. And that's one of my actions. And I would like to do thrashing fist on fucking Crispin, because this motherfucker's got to go down. So here I go. I think I'm gonna use a domain die to re-roll that, please. There I go. That's a nat fucking 20. What a great use of a domain die. This
Heck yeah.
motherfucker.
Heck
this
yeah.
motherfucker, dude. Let's go. I'm
So,
making you pictures so everybody believes me.
What is the total?
Opportune. Well, so the total would be a 36.
Yeah, it's a crit. Roll up your damage and double it.
Okay. So it's 2d8 plus 8 bludgeoning. So that's 7 plus 8 is 15 times 2 is 30 points of damage on Crispin.
What do these bludgeoning strikes look like, or whatever you call it?
I imagine for bludgeoning strike, or it's called thrashing fist. And I imagine these are like double strikes where it's like boom boom, like it follows through and that fist and elbow both hit. And you see is just like rear back and scream in fury as she just boom 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 and just starts fucking wailing on this skinny little bitch.
When you pull back, there's a sound as his razor drops into the seat of the wagon, and he looks at you and just kind of goes, and blood just spills out of his mouth, and just stiff as a board, he just collapses.
And is just blood and guts up to her elbows and is just standing there heaving. And I do have one more action, but I think all I'm going to do is turn to Natalin and Lumi and just say, you two should really go. And I think that's kind of all I do, probably. I will narratively forego my last, what could be an attack.
Okay. Misty Steps is going to continue Misty Stepping away. With the last of her movement, she can absolutely use all of her strides to get this horse out of here. So she's effectively run away. Crispin is dead. Barty, you're all alone on that wagon.
Sure am. Did it stop? at any point?
I imagine that Isgothi sort of pulled it to a stop
Yeah.
as
When
she was
everything started to go tits up.
disembarking.
Okay, cool. Who looks more fucked up right now? Izzy or not Izzy, never Izzy. Iz or Lala?
Wow.
I don't. Have you taken any damage?
I took 1 splash damage from the acid vial that Lala threw like a girl. So
Lala.
if I had to put a number on it, I'd say I'm at 129 of 130.
Oh my gosh. If I had to put a number on it, Lala's at 13 of 20.
Okay.
So
Okay,
Lala's
okay.
definitely the most hurt.
Okay, so whatchamacallit? She's within 30 feet of me, so Barty's going to cast Soothe, and restore her 1d10 plus 4 hit points, and she will gain a +2 status bonus to save versus mental effects
Ooh.
for the duration of 1 minute.
Are you gonna unlobotomize her and then let her go back to like Flowers for Algernon style?
look,
This
man.
is so sad.
I want to save Lala, okay? Because
God,
we
help you,
need
yeah.
her to come back. Oh, beans. That's 3. She gets 3 hit points.
A little premature in removing that.
And for his last action, because that was 2 actions, for the third action, Barty's gonna try to hide, I guess, in this wagon. Just gonna make himself low in the wagon, grab some tarp.
Okay.
Do a hide.
Yeah, you can roll your stealth. Just
Okay.
I don't know that it's gonna matter, but Brannick is still dead. Lumi,
Braddock is still dead.
on your turn, Lumi. Pickles is
23.
going to just sort of trot up alongside Audrani and the horse.
Oh my god. Pickles is gonna gallop today. He is gonna
And it
gallop.
is your turn, Lumi.
So, Lumi, moments ago, when she was calling Johnny out to come, we have to run, we have to get out of here. She was like, kind of feeling very, very heartbroken, betrayed by Isgothi. Just like, I can't believe that she would keep company in a crew like this. But it makes sense. You can't trust everyone you meet is one of Lumi's hard-earned lessons. But then Lumi hears the crunch as she turns around and sees Isgothi just eradicate Crispin, and she's confused by this in just a moment. And you yell out, "Get the 2 of you, get out of here!" Lumi gives you a melancholy look, like a knowing, heartfelt look, and as she strides over to hop onto Pickles' back, she yells to you as Goffy, or like calls out to you, "Come see me in Sandpoint sometime," as she digs her little talons into
wanna show
Pickles,
you
and
around.
we gallop away.
No, seriously, the dive bars are really good.
And she attaches herself to Pickles and heads up.
And I
With
kind of
her-
like
with her movement.
blood still dripping from her hands. Isgothi watches them go.
Lala is going to dust herself off and basically walk back to the wagon, clambering in, and is kind of, as she climbs up on board, just
Did she step on Barty?
what did you get for a stealth roll?
23.
Oh, why is this wagon so lumpy? Oh, damn.
No, she does not.
Oh,
You're
She-
escaping into the night.
She walks
song.
around the wagon, gets on, and as far as she knows, she's here all by herself. And she is going to start driving the wagon away.
And pulling
What a
his
song.
Gothi
What a
along
song
with
this
it
will
like a
make.
tether. Yeah.
She's not going to get very far, but that's going to take us up to still lying in the back of that wagon, all of basically peeking through his eyes while pretending to be asleep, is Rogi.
Yeah, and basically he manipulates and activates his greater smoke bomb, and in a 20-foot radius
Pocket sand.
outside from at this point at the where is I need a circle. A circle. Where's the circle?
There's auras as well.
Where's my aura?
A 20-foot circle is just not going to cut it, so you have to. do
No,
big.
so it's a 20-foot radius.
So-
It is, and it's set. So it's a burst. The radius of the burst is 20 feet, and it is going to be set right next to on the side of the cart. So where the hole is right here, like
So the hole is at the front of the cart next to Natalin,
Okay.
unless you're throwing it out the back.
actually, I'm gonna, yeah, I want to kind of right out the back area that's kind of out the side. Why can't I? Wish I had an arrow.
What are you trying to do?
Come on, flee with us.
so, like,
Rogi.
right-
You
Flee
can,
with
you can use
us.
the pointer. You can use the pointer to point.
Where's the?
There's a
which
pointer
one's
tool.
What's the pointer to? Oh,
It
there
looks
it
like
is.
the teardrop. Yeah, teardrop.
So I want to drop it right here,
Okay.
so that 20 feet back.
Into the
Yeah,
brush.
yeah, right there, so that it's all in that area, so that basically the everyone in the cart and on the side of the cart is just erupts in smoke for a minute. And
My eyes are burning.
my next action, I might be moving, standing up, and hiding, and just kind of doing something along those lines. That, yeah. So that's pretty much it. And then next action, next round, if there is another one, I might do something else.
Natalin.
So what does the smoke thing mean? Does it mean I cannot see anymore?
It is concealed. Everything is concealed.
What is it you
so-
used exactly? A smoke ball?
It is a greater smoke ball. With the sharp twist of the item, you create a thick screen of obfuscate smoke that bursts center at one center of your. All creatures in the area are concealed, and all other creatures are concealed from them. It lasts for a minute. It's a radius of 20-foot burst. So everyone has concealment, and concealment
You are
basically.
You're difficult for one or more creatures to see. Due to
Yep.
thick fog or some other obscuring feature, you can be concealed to some creatures but not others. While concealed, you can still be observed, but you're tougher to target. A creature that you're concealed from must succeed at a DC 5 flat check when targeting you with an attack, spell, or other effect. If the check fails, you aren't affected. So, yeah, it's basically going to be a little harder for you to move through and try to find things.
I literally want to get out of the cart. That was my whole plan, was to follow Adrani out of the cart once she was gone. And now that Crispin is no longer, would I be able to find the exit?
You're standing right next to it, so
Okay, so yeah.
yeah, and I think you're basically moving. You're only moving about 10 feet. So kind of feeling around, and I mean, I'll be honest, Adrani with the smoke's probably going to call out to you anyway.
I would so my intention before the smoke bomb would have happened was to get out and then either run alongside of the horse or if there's room on the horse, get on the horse with Adrani.
There's
I have a question for you, Kaeryn.
Yeah.
Don't you have the ability to manipulate elements such as air to just blow the smoke away?
Will smoke yeah, I guess.
I'm just
Um,
I don't want to
No,
backseat game here. but I just
If smoke is considered air, then yes, I can do something. I can't.
Well, yeah,
I can't
smoke can be
smoke
manipulated by. You can manipulate the air, which is going to manipulate the smoke. It says
Like that
specifically.
Kung Pao where he... Oh, sorry.
It says specifically the smoke lasts for 1 minute or until dispersed by a strong wind.
It will take me 2 of my actions though to disperse the wind.
okay.
Decisions.
So I'm thinking I would rather just go follow the sound of my comrades, like Adrani's voice, and try to get to that horse and up onto it if I possibly could. Yeah. Would you like me to?
I would like you to roll a perception check. Well, first I want you to make a flat 5 check. Just roll a DC or D20. Got to beat a 5.
Just roll a d20. Okay. Rolling a 20. D20. Oh my god. No! I want to use a domain dice. A domain dice.
Good.
We're
That's
not
a good use
keeping
of
a
one.
4.
A 75% chance of success.
How about a 10? That's
Okay.
You. Let's go.
So that's all you needed to be able to get out through this hole that you already knew was there. You already basically were standing next to it. To climb down and make your way through to where Adrani was standing, and you know Adrani was. As she calls out to you, Natalin, I'm here.
I'm coming. And I would follow her voice and then try to.
And you would basically bump into the flank of the horse. And you'd be able to climb up on the horse.
Okay, good. Lumi? Make sure I'll see her.
Yeah.
Lumi's right in front. And then as Lumi, Natalin, and Adrani are making their way on the horse and Pickles, is Gothy...
Thank you for including in Pickles.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Is Gothy, what are you doing? I mean, you actually can't see them getting away because of the fog. You just saw the sudden smoke bomb.
I imagine I knew where they were very similarly to Natalin, and then I hear the clock, 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 hopefully away.
And in the other direction, Lala's driving the cart away.
Yeah. So I think I probably just try to get out of this smoke. I probably so I've been standing on the front of this wagon. I would probably hop down and kind of stumble out of this cloud of smoke and just kind of catch my breath, and maybe I even go over to this river and wash out my eyes. It's it's very smoky and uncomfortable.
And as they are escaping in the smoke past you, what are you doing? Well, actually, before I get back to Rogi, because you're at the top. Barty, are you staying hidden?
Brave Barty is hiding and riding away.
What a song this will make.
The brave Sir Barty ran away.
Okay. So then, Rogi, what's the last thing you do?
Rogi, based off of how everything's going, she's gonna hide and slip away.
Slip into the forest.
So as Lumi, Natalin, Adrani, and Pickles, and the horse race away back the way they came, Adrani, the rest of you, you're able to figure out a way to Adrani actually would take you back about a half a mile or so and lead you along the farmers' roads that were initially suggested by some of the bandit group to avoid them.
Bandit group?
And begin leading you back to Sandpoint by way of the south. as they ride off, Lala and Barty continue on. Lala eventually does not follow the path all the way to Sandpoint, instead finding a place to turn around or an alternate path to figure out. I imagine Lala, depending on whether Barty shows himself or not, after a couple miles, just sort of pulling the wagon over and without explanation would just park the wagon, climb down, look around, and just start walking off into the woods.
And then Barty would take the wagon and drive his ass to Magnamar. No stopping at Sandpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think Rogi, the last thing Rogi does as he's walking, pulls out Lumi's star weapon and just twirls it on his finger.
Oh, what an asshole!
Oh yeah,
Lumi's gonna have to
thing
get
that
into-
happened.
He
That is a
stole
thing
that
that
last week.
yeah, that was last week. I actually had you roll a perception check, or rolled against your perception DC. Yeah, Rogi stole your weapon.
Okay. Is it my big chakram or my star knife?
It was the star knife.
Your chalk. It was
Oh.
Was it the star knife?
No, it was
honestly,
the chalk.
I honestly don't know.
I want to
wasn't-
say it was.
So
I want the
for
chakra.
clarity's sake,
Yeah.
I own 5 star knives and 1 chakram.
It was the chakra.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It was the chakra because it's the big thing that's on your
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
he took because it's your main weapon.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Okay, I'll delete that from my inventory.
I just gotta buy a new one.
And what about
Save up your allowance.
That one was given to me by a lover in Magnamar.
where?
Oh,
what?
no.
What's Isgothi's
Denouement.
final destination?
I think Is eventually like stands up and the blood is now off of her hands and she kind of like looks down the road to where Lumi and Natalin went, and then she looks down the other way to where her old companions went. And I think that she would probably eventually just start walking in the direction of where Lumi and Natalin went. Maybe not intending to like follow them, but just to see where this road goes. And maybe
It'd be a whole bunch
find another adventure.
a whole bunch of back farm roads and stuff is ultimately what you'd be led to. So
I think
yeah,
Iz is probably just looking to disappear for a while.
and I think the final thing we see is on the southern road leading into Sandpoint. We see Adrani, Natalin, Lumi, of course Pickles, riding into Sandpoint once again. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. We're going to end the side quest. And next week we're going to get back to all the irregular characters. I do want to show one thing. You guys...
That's bitching, dude.
I didn't have to use these. I thought I was going to, but I had an entire goblin gang of 20
fuck
goblins. And I had a goblin boss on a war boar waiting to ambush you. I even studied up on the new troop rules, and
Incredible.
what happened was I was rolling those checks where you guys are like, what are you doing? I was rolling
boy.
Brannick and Aldrani that's why I needed to know who tied them up and what their thievery score was, because I was rolling against the thievery score to see if they could get out of their bindings.
Wow.
And they did, which is
Okay.
why Aldrani was able to send the message and everything that happened.
Incredible.
So
Then you would have wanted Rogi to roll that it made him tie him because his is pretty damn good.
Damn it.
Well,
Stamina.
So
Bad. So sad.
but what this means is all of you who were playing NPCs, your NPCs survived and are out there in the world somewhere.
I just saved
So-
my sheet.
The only,
Recurring
in fact, only one NPC died. That was the one you guys hated the most, Crispin.
Crispin. I'm so glad I got to
you
kill
like
I
him.
don't think he was
Crispin.
really crispin at the end. I think he's more pulpin at the end.
Well,
Yeah, pulp.
Blooded.
Audrani's definitely going to have to unpack the loss of her bodyguard and personal consort, Brannick. But
I feel so bad.
God,
about
she
Brandon,
should have
dude.
trained him more for all the
Yeah.
time.
He's
I've been
level
taking
one.
care of
To
Who
be
hires
fair,
a
if
level
that-
one bodyguard?
If that thin
It wasn't
bitch
less-
got
it-
one over on him,
it wasn't so much a hiring than it was bringing him along. Just his statistics. Statistically, or no, NPC stat block wise, he was a bodyguard. Anyway,
that was bitch.
that ends our
was fun.
side quests. And next week we'll get back to the undead hole and the things surrounding that and unpack what happened to you all.
A
And
lot
as
of
you get back to
developments,
Sandpoint, I may have questions for some of you at different points in time about where your NPCs are in the world. I just want to keep tabs on them. So with that, I want to say thank you, of course, to we had a couple folks, Monty DL and Lakeishius. I don't know if I'm got that right. Who reached stream streaks. Those don't really do anything other than let us know that you're watching repeatedly, which we appreciate. Plus the subs and the bits and all that stuff. So thank you all for those. Thanks to everybody hanging in the chat as usual. And of course, thank you to these amazing players. 13 episodes in and we're barely into the first quest hook. But that's fine. This is a campaign. That's what it's all about. I'm not judging it based on who got how
There
far.
have been 0 dooms.
There have been a lot of dooms, but not with capital D's.
Correct.
No capital D doom TM. Just non-copyright infringing dooms.
Yes, obviously.
But yeah, so a huge thank you, of course, to all of these amazing players who we get to play this game with every week. So as usual, a huge thank you to Vi, Kaeryn, Tamiko, Cari, and Jay, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Metadata.